Lesson 24. Talking on the phone. Communication.
Hello, today we are going to practice pronunciation and we are going to review numbers. Then we will learn how to use the verbs say, tell, and ask. We'll also learn how to take messages on the telephone. But first, let's look at some new vocabulary. Take a look at your screen. There are three kinds of telephones. This is a cellular or mobile telephone. People use these to speak on the phone when they are not at home. Next, this is a cordless phone. Many people have these so they can bring the telephone into different rooms in the house. Next, this is a regular telephone. It has a cord, a receiver, and a dial box. The dial box usually has buttons to push. You push these buttons when you want to dial a telephone number. Next, this is a telephone book. It has many telephone numbers. There's usually one telephone book for a town or city or for a certain area. There are usually many pages of advertisements called the yellow pages. These are for people who are trying to sell something or who are offering a service. Next, this is a telephone booth. They are found outside and in airports, bus stations, and metros. They are also on the streets. Next picture, this is a phone card. It can be used in a phone booth to make telephone calls. Next, this is an answering machine. People leave messages on answering machines. A beep is a sound that is used to tell you when to leave a message. People can make local calls in the same area or long-distance calls to a different city or country on a telephone. Next picture, this is an operator. A person who may help you with information on the telephone is called an operator. Picks up the phone. When a person answers a telephone, he or she picks up the phone. Next picture. Hangs up the telephone. When a person is finished speaking, he or she hangs up the telephone. Now let's practice pronouncing some of this new vocabulary. Let's repeat what I say. Sylvia, there is a telephone book on the table.
There is a telephone book on the table.
Good. Linda, Mamie's cell phone is at her sister's house.
Mamie's cell phone is at her sister's house.
Right. Alberto, where are the yellow pages in this phone book?
That's not difficult. Where are the yellow pages in this phone book?
Very good. Now, Sylvia, can you repeat this sentence? Can I buy a phone card here?
Can I buy a phone card here?
Fine. Linda, you do this one. Tell her to turn her answering machine on.
Tell her to turn her answering machine on.
Okay. One more, Alberto. This one's for you. May I use your phone to make a long-distance call, please?
That's a long one. May I use your phone to make a long-distance call, please?
Wonderful. Good job, everyone.
Pronunciation.
Now let's practice pronunciation. When a person speaks on the telephone, he or she must speak slowly and clearly so that the other person will understand. Let's read the following sentences slowly and clearly. Sylvia, you go first. Please take a look at your monitor.
Hello, is John there?
Okay, good. Now, Alberto.
Does John have his cell phone with him?
Very good. Linda?
I want to leave a message.
Great. Alberto?
When will John be back?
Okay. You can see how important it is to speak slowly on the telephone. Let's practice some more. I will read a sentence. You listen carefully. Then repeat it. Okay, Alberto, you go first. The baby put the telephone book in the bath.
The baby put the telephone book in the bath.
Good. Okay, Sylvia, you try this one. Might be a little difficult. Connie always calls Chris on her cellular phone.
Connie always calls Chris on her cellular phone.
Good job. All right, Linda. The teacher often talks to Ted on the phone.
That's easy. The teacher often talks to Ted on the phone.
Very good. Good job, everyone. Now it's time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
Did he leave a number so I can call him back? The mobile phone is in your parents' bedroom. How many times did the phone ring? I need the phone book.
Read and repeat.
Let's practice pronunciation one more time. Let's say these sentences slowly and carefully. I want to understand you. Okay, Alberto, you go first.
Okay. There are 4 phone books at Fred's house.
There are 4 phone books at Fred's house. Good. Sylvia?
There were 10 telephone books in the cupboard.
There were 10 telephone books in the cupboard. Okay. Linda, you are last again.
That's simple. She put the cell phone in her purse.
She put the cell phone in her purse. All right, wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
Numbers.
Now let's review numbers. Take a look at some sentences. There are 11 phone books in my desk. Ted has 16 telephone cards. Jimmy has 12 digits in his telephone number. There must be 2,000 advertisements in these yellow pages. So the numbers in these sentences are pronounced in the normal way. Here's some more sentences. There are 11 phone books in my desk. 11 equals 11. Ted has 16 phone cards. 16 equals 16. When you give a telephone number, each number is read individually and not as a whole. Numbers over 9 shouldn't be used. Okay, here are some examples. Paul's number is 667-4127. So Paul's number is 667-4127. So you read each number individually. You do not say Paul's number is 667-4127. That's just ridiculous. Okay, another example. Taylor's work number is 212-5479. So we say Taylor's work number is 212-5479. So you do not say Taylor's work number is 112-5479. Okay, 2 of the same number can be read as double. For example, Kyle's number is 234-8865. Kyle's number is 234-8865. Okay, another example. Lana's home number is 2249766. Lana's home number is 2249766. However, it is better to say each number one by one. Lana's home number is 2249766. Yes, okay. Let's practice numbers now. Alberto, what is your grandfather's telephone number?
He has a new number.
Okay.
I think it is 4320049.
4320049?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Alberto. Sylvia, what is your number?
My number is 6683245.
Okay. 6683245? Okay, I thought so. Linda, what is your best friend's number?
My best friend is Tina. Her number is 431-7407.
Okay, 431-7407. All right, thank you, everyone. Now it's time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
There are 412 mobile telephones for sale in that store. Pedro's number is 412-9630. That telephone book has 6,100 numbers in it. Her friend's number is 969-0011.
Read and repeat. Say and tell.
Now it's time to learn when to use say and tell. Say and tell. Let's look at some examples. Ellen told Steve to call you. Patty told her mother to call back at 4 o'clock. If there is an indirect object or a listener, we use tell. Again, look at some sentences. Ellen told Steve to call you. Ellen talked to Steve. Steve was the listener. Patty told her mother to call back at 4. Patty talked to her mother. Her mother was the listener. We also use tell in negative sentences when there is a listener. Some more examples. Ellen didn't tell Steve to call you. Patty didn't tell her mother to call back at 4. If there is no indirect object or listener, we use say. More examples. Ellen said that Steve should call her. Patty said that her mother should call her at 4. In these two sentences, there are no listeners. If there are, we don't know who they are. We can also use say in negative sentences. For example, Ellen didn't say that Steve should call her. Patty didn't say that her mother should call her at 4. Using say or tell is easy if you remember two simple rules. Okay, notice that. First,